Ridiculous. All right, man. I hate when you have crappy Wi-Fi. It sucks. I was out late last night, guys. So this is where we look. Woo! Excuse me. Got the nice sunlight though, so that's good. Hope you guys can hear me okay. We are here live. Let's rock and roll. Guys, welcome to the live show. Pretty excited. Just if I can get a comment to see if somebody make sure that you guys can hear me would be great. Let me see. Remember some destinations. I don't know, man. I'm doing this on a little phone, so it's a little rough. But yeah, so the Sunday Live is really sort of like a personal thing, right? For me, I really enjoy it because I get to go and really. This is a time for me to answer questions that anybody might have about anything in regards to claims, life, uh, business, sales, marketing, anything like that. My name is Vince Perry. I've been a business owner and an entrepreneur for about 15 years now. And I have started businesses, I've scaled businesses, I've failed at businesses, I've had to close down businesses. I've pretty much done it all, and I've managed to be quite successful. Basically, just being a yeah, strictly, I guess the word is entrepreneur. I hate to overuse the word entrepreneur, but basically just getting paid for the work that I put in to do something. So I feel like I've also been a coach. I was a tennis coach for 15 years, in case you didn't know that. So I was a tennis coach for 15 years. My mom was a guidance counselor and teacher for over 30 years. My uncle was a teacher as well. I was a tennis coach for 15 years, teaching kids from 4 and 5 years old to 94 years old. I trained elite athletes to play very, very big time tournaments here in Florida. I played college tennis. So coaching for me is something that has always been something that just came very, very natural to me. I really, really just enjoy it. And in order for me to coach, you have to actually know about the thing that you do. So I know about business and public adjusting and claims and entrepreneurship and sales from my experience, from my successes and from my failures. But more importantly, I know about it because of quite frankly, just the education that I feed myself every single day. I'm a freaking, I'm a huge advocate for making sure that you're learning and learning new things and trying to do everything that you can to continue to really feed your brain and get more and more knowledge. And when it comes to business and everything around it, I read a lot. I educate myself a lot. I also take a lot of coaching. I've got several coaches that have helped me. I've got a business development coach. I've got a mindset coach. I've got a fitness coach. I've got what else do I have? A fitness coach. I've got a coach for our books, a bookkeeping coach, basically, to make sure that we're doing that. That's something that I'm learning now that I can't wait to teach you guys. It's called the Profit First Formula. If you guys never heard of it, look it up. It is a great book. And it's a framework on how you should basically manage your finances. So check it out. Profit First is the way is what it's called, and yeah, you'll wanna learn more and more about that. So let me see here. I'm trying to see if I can see anybody that comments. But anyway, so yeah, I want to talk about last night. Shout out to Stephanie Velasquez, the owner of Preferred Claims. Shout out to Nick, and shout out to Frank, who, and there may be more people. Good morning, Rich. Thank you for coming on again, man. I really appreciate your support. And thank you to know that it's working. The comments, I can see them. Great event here at the Miami Open in Miami, Florida. Really great time to meet new people, meet new friends, see old friends, and have some good conversations. I had a great time. I had some great conversations with some public adjusters in the industry. Had a great conversation with a roofer as well. We'll follow up with him because it's all about the follow up. And yeah, just all in all, it was a really nice time. One of the things that we were talking about that I want to touch on is you don't have to do only one thing, guys. Okay. Now, for those of you that are all in 100% public adjusting, that's great. I think it's also very important to go all in on something. But if you feel that you have a passion for other things, if there's other things that you want to if there's other things that you want to pursue, if there is, or if you feel like you're just not getting enough of what you're currently doing, it's okay to want to do new things. It's okay to have more than one hustle. It's okay to have a side hustle. Like I'm the kind of person who I always had at least two things going on at the same time. Can that be a detriment? Sure. If you don't go all in on one thing, yeah. My suggestion is you go all in on one thing for a certain amount of time. How long that is, it's really up to you and where you feel like you are with it. And then try that other thing. For years, I was a tennis coach, tennis director of a tennis facility. So tennis coach first and tennis director of a tennis facility. And then I owned my own tennis academy for about almost 5 years. And all the while I was a public adjuster at the same time. And I had times where I wanted to quit one or the other. And, I realized that I'm just not that person. I'm not that person who could just only do one thing. It's just, I don't know why. If I find any downtime, any slow time, maybe you should dedicate on that slow time to obviously growing the one thing. But I've just always had other interests. I was always passionate about tennis, but more importantly, development. So I'm happy I never let that go, because coaching and development and what I did on the court with a lot of these kids is, no matter what the age, you can start even as a coach. You have to remember, as a coach, a lot of times the kids listen to you more than they listen to their parents. So you have a responsibility as a coach, and I'm talking about kids, to make sure that you are really not only teaching them, in my case, the sport of tennis, but just good, proper values, making sure that they're respectful, making sure they understand the importance of working with. Tennis is not a team sport, but if you're playing doubles, for example, working with your partner, getting along with the other kids, and being respectful, to them, teaching them discipline and the importance of hard work, and how they have to be proactive while they're off the court to make sure that they're doing everything they can to get better, and just the overall, obviously, the overall importance of discipline. And if they want to get better, they have to, dedicate themselves and work hard. The importance of giving it your best effort. There's all these things that, you instill in others as a coach that, really help develop others. So, I always did both because I was just passionate about it. I was just very, very passionate about it. But I was also passionate about the importance of being a public adjuster, and ultimately being an advocate, fighting for the right of the homeowner. And also, it was a great opportunity to make a lot of money. Like, let's face it, in tennis, I did not make nearly as much money in my career as I made as a public adjuster. At 20% at the time, every claim, and water damage not being capped at 10,000, I did a lot of water damage claims. Every water damage claim was anywhere from, 30,000 to 130,000, and I would get 20% for those. So I did very, 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 very well, while I was basically a one-man band, just working all my own claims from A to Z, doing all my sales, doing all my marketing. And I basically woke up every morning, worked my public adjusting career from about 9 a.m. till about 2 p.m. And it was every day, 9 to 2. It was pretty much 8 to 2, 9 to 2. But around 2 p.m., I would basically hang it up, and I'd go home, and either at the time I would take a nap. I don't take naps anymore. Or I would work out like around 3 o'clock, and I'd be on the court at 4. Or I'd go till 3 to do all that again and be on the court at 5. And I'd be on the court every night. You could ask my wife. She still shakes her head like she couldn't believe that I would be able to do all that. And I'd be on the court until anywhere from 7 to 9 p.m. at night, teaching the group lessons, teaching private lessons, so on and so forth. And I did that for about 10 years. It wasn't until I moved to Tampa that I hung up my racket. I closed down the company. Now, in hindsight, I should have sold the company. Now that I know a lot more about business acquisitions and buying and selling of businesses, which is something that we can get into later. But I always had to do two things. So yeah, that was my day for 10 years. It was my day. And the last 5 years I owned the tennis academy. And for 3 years before that, I was tennis director of a tennis facility. And the 2 years before that, I was still just coaching tennis. Yeah, because when I started my public adjusting career, the first thing that I did was I started teaching again. I worked for State Farm for a year, so I quit teaching tennis. And as soon as I became a public adjuster, knowing that it would take time to make money because it takes time for these claims to get ultimately settled, I started teaching tennis again. I was like, I need money. I need to make some cash. So I started teaching tennis. I was a tennis coach for not full time, but in the afternoon, for 2 years. Then they asked me to be tennis director. I did not want to do it, but I thought it was a good opportunity. So I said yes, still while being a public adjuster. And then when it didn't work out anymore as the tennis director, I was finally done. I said, this is my story, by the way, guys. I've told it before. I was finally done, no more. And I decided to hang it up. But then when I stopped, I was let go. I was fired, actually. And I basically, all the kids and all the coaches were like, hey, we need to start our own thing. You need to go ahead and start a tennis academy. I want to go work for you. I'm going to go move as your student. So, I looked for a little bit and I found a facility that it was in a homeowners association. And I opened it up, 4 courts, and we opened up Miami Elite Tennis Academy for quite some time. 5 years is how long we did that, and it's a very rewarding experience, to be able to do it. But back to the initial point is I was having a conversation with a public adjuster who's frustrated. He needs money, right? He's a sales guy. He goes out, he does a lot of sales, and he brings in a lot of claims, but he's getting a little frustrated because a lot of claims aren't covered, or a lot of claims are just not getting paid, or they're just taking too long to get paid, and he's just struggling. He's struggling for money, and you can't blame him. Sorry about that, guys. You can't blame him, right? Because I mean, I get it. The industry's gotten a little bit difficult, and it's just a little bit harder to get paid now. So I told him, I said, you're great at sales, very personable, super kind, super friendly. And I told him, like, it's okay to do more than one thing. It's okay to find another hustle. I told him that you are a hell of a salesman. And what I want to stress here as well is that being a great salesman is an amazing ability to have. It's one of the abilities that I am very excited and very encouraged to teach my child, to be good at sales, to be good and personable and talk to people. And then above all, I mean, as a good salesman, you have to be charismatic. You have to be a good communicator. You have to be just an overall friendly person. And then the key indicator of whether you're going to be a success in sales or not is it boils down to your hustle. It boils down to your hustle, to your drive, to your ability to accept failure on a daily basis, for your ability to get back up and keep going. It's hustle. That's the word that I like to use when it comes to being a successful salesman. Steve Higgins, happy Sunday. My experience, sales is industry agnostic. If you understand how to work with people, know how to prospect and grind, you can make it in any industry. Thank you, Steve. And notice, I love how you said grind, because it's all about the grind. All those other things are important, right? If you're going to be truly successful. But I would say of being charismatic, being friendly, being a good communicator. That's a big one too. But above all the four, and having hustle's by far the most important thing that you have to have. You have to have a lot of hustle, because you're going to fail. Even if you're charismatic, friendly, and all those things, it's going to be a rough road. So this guy's a great salesman. He's very, very successful in working a crowd and generating leads and generating claims through building relationships, not through social media. It's how I did it basically for a very long time. I didn't start the social media thing until recently, 5 years ago. And he's been able to do it just by that. And he brings in a ton of claims. His wife is basically his business partner. And, she's very grateful to have him, because that's basically how they generate all the leads for the company, is him going out there and getting after it. And I told him, I said, if you're frustrated, it's okay to do more than one thing. Like, what else are you interested? What else are you passionate about? What do you like? He's like, I like boats. I like fast cars. I like, all these things. I said, well, all those things, they're looking for good salespeople all the time. It's very difficult to find that salespeople with all those 4 character strengths. I said, it's okay to go look beyond the claims that you're doing. And what's beauty about being a public adjuster is you can do both, like I did for so long. I owned a tennis academy. People used to tell me, like, which is your full-time job? I said, I have two full-time jobs. It's two full-time jobs. I was a full-time public adjuster and a full-time tennis instructor, or a full-time tennis director. And it's okay. You can do it. You know, you just have to have the discipline. You have to be organized to make sure that, you know, your scheduling is on point. I mean, I live and die by my Google Calendar. My wife always makes sure, if she reminds me of something, she says, put it in your calendar, because she knows that if it is not in my calendar, it is not going to happen. I was a phone call that we had set up, that my team set up for me, and they didn't put it in my calendar. And they were like, because they reminded me a bunch of times, but they didn't put it in my calendar like I had asked them to, and it just never happened. So if it's not on your calendar or my calendar, it doesn't get done. And you know, as soon as I moved to Tampa, I realized that I wasn't teaching tennis anymore, and I always thought, okay, cool, I'm going to go all in on the public adjusting. And then what ended up happening was me creating Commercial Claim Show. It was me creating the YouTube content and more content. So it did allow me to go all in on public adjusting, but what it also did was ultimately create another business, because I had that sort of extra space, extra time that I didn't have to necessarily just spend in claims. I was going out there networking. When I moved to Tampa, I joined a BNI. I was all up in the Meetup app, and I was doing all of that and meeting new people. I was new to Tampa, so it was a great opportunity for me to meet a lot of new people in Tampa. But I still had that gap that I had for so long filled with tennis. And I decided to start the YouTube show. I had that little bit of time. I had that gap in my just overall time of the day to really dedicate to that. Also had some experience with editing, so I went all in on that. And then what happened with Commercial Claims Show is it turned into the Commercial Claims Advocate, which turned into a lot of people commenting and sharing and asking for my advice and requesting more and more. And I started to look into, what do you do with digital marketing after you start generating leads for your business, and how can you sort of take it to the next level? And it goes back to full circle of life with me is coaching, you know. So Commercial Claims Advocate turned into another hustle. It turned into another hustle that I am very passionate about. You know, my word for 2025, I tell people all the year, is every single day, I think, is to be impactful. Being a coach allows you to impact others. It allows you to be impactful on other people and help as much as you can. You know, I used to tell people all the time when I was a tennis coach, because I would get overwhelmed sometimes. It was too much going on. But I used to tell my buddies all the time, guys, if you get a chance, you have to go coach kids, coach someone. And then this is to you guys as well. For those of you that are following, that are watching, coach. Like, go get a chance to coach your kids' soccer league, coach your kids' tennis tournaments, if you have an opportunity to be a coach, it's one of the most rewarding things, in my opinion, that you could ever do. You could really make an impact on someone else's lives. The easiest one is kids, because, you know, kids are sponges. And again, they look up to their coaches. A lot of times, like I said, they're going to listen to their coach more than they listen to their parents. And I always really reveled in that opportunity and that position as a sort of, like, you know, someone as a mentor that they look up to. And then, of course, fast forward, I never thought that I would have an opportunity to only coach adults, not just adults, but adults that are older than me, business professionals. And it was really funny. I could not believe that after I finally stopped being a coach, within a year or two, I was once again a coach. So it's very, very important to not get discouraged if you've got too many passions. You know, my good friend here actually in Miami, I admire him about is that any opportunity that comes about that really touches on his passions and that he really can truly enjoy, and it gives him an opportunity for any kind of fulfillment, he attacks and he goes all in, like attacks full strength, all in to just like making it a success. And again, that goes back to the hustle. But this guy worked in the human resources department of a local university here in Miami. Then he became a full-time bartender. He basically became the marketing manager, digital creator, content creator of the bar that he worked at. Then while at the bar, he literally while he was working at the bar and basically bartending and also being the digital creator and lead marketer and content creator, he then started how did that start? He then started a pop-up, like a sandwich, because they needed food at the bar. They had a kitchen in the back and they needed someone to serve food. They couldn't find anybody, or it wasn't working out, or it was too expensive. So he literally went to the back and he created his favorite Cuban dish, not Cuban dish, but Cuban sandwich, not a Cuban sandwich, a steak sandwich. It's called a pan con bistec. And he created it. It's always been his favorite sandwich. He, with zero culinary experience, he just got passionate about it, and he created a brand, he created a logo, he created a company, and he created a menu, and was featured on the Miami Herald, and was I believe he was a guest at the Miami Food and Wine Festival, and it had turned into a huge thing. So I'm not even done yet. From human resources director, and I'm gonna have him on the show very soon. Shout out to Adrian Castro. Why am I not even saying his name? He's like my best friend. So Adrian Castro here in Miami. Shout out to you, Adrian. It's just really admirable what you are able to do and just jump in. You talk about somebody who never is doing one thing at a time. This is the perfect example. And I'm gonna go back. But another example, guys, is let's just go Elon Musk. Elon Musk is what? He's just one person, and he's got how many companies? This is why it's important, guys, to build your personal brand. Stop building your company's brand. Stop building that passionate thing. Just build your personal brand. Who are you? Who are you that show all your passions? I was talking to another Adrian, one of my guys yesterday. I hope he's watching now, but he's also in real estate. I said, he's a public adjuster, he's in real estate. Lewis does the same thing. They keep separating everything. They separate the real estate from the public adjusting. It's all under the same thing. There's no better way to promote the fact that you are passionate about home ownership, residential, real estate investors, and anything and everything real estate. So basically, if you're a real estate agent and you're a public adjuster, you could literally offer every kind of service to help a homeowner or potential buyer or potential seller to make sure that not only they find a house that they like, but are there any issues? You're going to already, as a public adjuster, you're a pro at looking to see if there's any leaks. You might as well be an inspector, but you can go there and you can help the inspector or watch the inspector and make sure there's no leaks, make sure there's no issues. Are there any potential claims? You review the policy for them to make sure that they have coverage that they need and they don't have the limitations that they don't want. You can go on that roof and take a look to make sure it's good. Is there a claim? Is there not a claim? And then you can help sell their house. It's all under one umbrella. So build your personal brand. This is to my guys, Adrian and Lewis, your actual Instagram page or Facebook page, and talk about it all. Talk about how you are so passionate about doing this and how the many ways that you can help. Building the personal brand is so important. Elon Musk does it. Dan Martell does it. Everybody, they've got these personal Instagram profiles and they have a lot of businesses. Everybody has a ton of businesses. Everybody does so many things. So back to Adrian. So he's a human resources working for a local university, quits that, goes full-time at the job, becomes a full-time bartender, digital creator, marketing manager at my great place, Union Beer Store. Then he goes to the back, makes a freaking sandwich, turns into Panolos, which became very, very successful, which still exists to this day. And then, are you ready for this? Then he became a wrestler. That's right, a wrestler, because they did an event at the bar. He's always been huge to wrestling. If you've ever been to Union Beer Store, they always had the old WWF matches, WWE matches, playing constantly. Every single classic match, it was always on, no matter what. It was very wrestling themed bar. And a lot had to do with the owner David, but also with Adrian. They were just huge fans of wrestling. And anyway, they did an event in the back with some professional wrestlers, and he got into it as a joke, and he got slammed and stuff like that. The wrestlers asked him, "Hey, you should come train with us." He starts training, and guess what he did? He went all in, balls out for his passion for wrestling, and now he is also known as Domino and is a professional wrestler. And he is I think the Southeastern champion. He's got a belt and everything, like a legit freaking belt. So no, it goes to show, and he's got another passion that he's getting into. He's very passionate about mental health, and he's very well known in the mental health industry as well. Like, talk about doing a lot of different things. So, go for it, man. Go for it. Go for it. Whatever it is that you want to attack, whatever passion that you want to go for, like, don't be discouraged that you can only do one thing, or if you don't know what that other thing is, just really think about it. Really think about what it is that you're passionate about. And it's okay to have a couple different things that you want to achieve, that you want to accomplish, because ultimately, doesn't matter. It's 2025. There's just limitless opportunities with technology and with AI that can help you do a bunch of stuff. Like, you have the time. Everybody has the time. It's one of the limiting beliefs that I always put when I do my trainings is time is such a limiting belief. It's such bullshit. It's you have the time. It's just you don't want to dedicate yourself to going ahead and actually doing it. So, yeah. Sales, so important, and passions, and just go for it, whatever you want. Myself, as a full-time public adjuster, running Elite Resolutions, and also commercial claims advocate, which has turned into basically a nice little marketing team and a marketing company. Basically, I'm also in a position right now where I'm potentially going to acquire a business. I don't know what that business is going to be. I'm also an opportunity right now where I've got a real estate license as well, that I'm going to broker deals as well. So anybody on here that wants to sell a business, I can broker that deal for you. I am fast tracking a very, very prestigious certification right now. And every night after everyone goes to sleep, I continue to get the certification. I'm about halfway through. It's called the CBI. It's a very, very prestigious certified business something. It's the prestigious broker certification that there is. I'm about halfway through it, having to take a bunch of quizzes and exams and sit through lectures. And every night I do it. After everybody goes to sleep, I find the time to continue doing it. And I'm halfway through it. I am a licensed business broker, and I'm here to learn and ultimately sell the business. So if you're a seller, if you're interested in selling your business, I can basically run that deal for you and easily on social media find you a buyer. It's very, very easy. We've got one business that I'm going to start promoting likely next week for anybody that wants to buy in the local Tampa area. So I've got other passions as well. I've got other interests as well. And it's okay as long as you go all in, like in sales. You have to have the hustle. You have to have the drive to go all in to do it. So, are there any questions? Anybody that wants? We got a few people watching. I appreciate you watching. Would love to answer any question that you might have. It could be about anything. Hopefully not too deep in claims related, but that's fine. If you have a question about a claim, we could answer that as well. I'm more of the business style and all that stuff. We are. This Friday, we are getting together. The mastermind is getting together for our quarterly in-person mastermind. Very excited about that. If you have any interest in the mastermind whatsoever, please make sure to either leave a comment here, send me a message on Instagram. Would love to tell you what it's all about. It's truly amazing. And again, something that I'm very passionate about, because I get to really coach and I get to really mentor. Somebody introduced me yesterday as their mentor, one of the mastermind members. It was an honor. And I revel in that, because it's an important responsibility to make sure that I need to make sure that I'm consistently on point, constantly on point, making sure that I'm staying in shape, but also reading and educating myself and learning more and more, because if I'm not doing that, then I can't share the information with others. We did every Monday, we do a live training with our mastermind members. And, I teach them a new concept that I've used. Good morning. I have healthcare administration software looking for investors. I have a healthcare administration software looking for investors. Chris, I'd love to hear more. Would love to hear more. Send me a message on Instagram. I might be able to help you with that for sure. I could definitely help you with that. One thing that I'm in connection with is a lot of investors. When it comes to acquiring a business, it could be very costly. So anyway, Chris, before I get into that, send me a message on Instagram. It's Vince Perry Official. Let's chat, and there might be some opportunities that I could provide you with that. What's your handle? Vince Perry Official, at Vince Perry Official. Please check it out. Also, you can find me on Facebook as well. You can send me a DM on Facebook. But basically, Vince Mastermind Groups is off the chart. Rich is part of Rich. Yes, Rich, you are a newly inducted member of the mastermind. Every Monday we go all in on some kind of cool big idea and some concept, and it's systems process related, or it's marketing and sales related, or it's leadership and mindset. Wait until you get a dose of the elevation, what did I call it? Elevation roadway. Basically, I'm sorry, the expansion roadway. It's off the charts. I'm so proud of that. I'm gonna have to copyright it because it's off the charts. We're gonna teach that, Rich, on Monday. I'm very excited. It's about leadership and mindset. But we did last week. We talked about checklists and the importance of building checklists, which actually I did a sort of limited version of it coming up this Wednesday on the YouTube show. So that'll be up on Wednesday. Basically, how to sort of make sure that you're creating a checklist, how you could use the power of AI to create those checklists, and how to basically break down your workflow to make sure that you are including checklists in every single part. And it was a model that I drew for the group, and we went through it for 2 weeks actually, and I think the guys got a lot out of it, and the girls. So very excited about that. So check out Wednesday's show. Do you know someone for Xactimate training? I do. I would suggest that you start, Chris. You go to my good friend Alina Wilson. She's on YouTube, and you're going to want to check out her XM8 Mastery. XM8, basically Xactimate, XM8 Mastery. Again, good friend of mine. Tell her that I sent you, and she'll be able to help you out. She's got a great course. She's got a mastermind group also. She's got all kinds of stuff that could really help you with your Xactimate training. But even her initial course, when I hired after Hurricane Ian, I needed to hire estimators. The first thing I did was just put them through the course, and it helped them a lot. So it helped them tremendously, really fast track how to use Xactimate and get a good understanding of it and get a good handle of it. So yeah, hit up Alina Wilson when you have a chance. So what about local training? I don't know where you live, so I can't. Are you in Tampa? Well, I'm glad that we were able to do this live. I was concerned. The Wi-Fi here is freaking terrible. It is awful. Oh, cool, Chris. Yeah, and let's hook up. Local Xactimate training? No, I don't know if that guy's local. I can't remember his name. No, just local. You don't got to go in person anywhere, man. Just do it virtual. You might as well just do that. So I don't know. But anyway, either way. So yeah, so the mastermind has been fantastic. If anybody's interested in that, Chris, if you're a public adjuster, if you're interested in that, you're not going to want to pass up on that. It is very in-depth. Every Wednesday we go with Jeremy Lavelle, the claims coach. That is just amazing. I mean, I've never seen anybody put together a claim package and a file the way that Jeremy does. It's second to none. And the next thing is, yeah, so we're all getting in person. Every quarter we meet in person for the in-person mastermind, and it's very, very exciting. I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. So what we're gonna do, I'm not really sure yet, but at least we're gonna be getting together and seeing each other in person. It was great to see some of the mastermind members at the event last night. Shout out to Gigi, Eddie, and Merber. They were all there. That was pretty awesome. Great to see them, and it's especially that they're expressing how much they're getting from the mastermind. That is really helping them with their claims, with finding work, with finding their passions, and so on and so forth. I will tell you, you do not have to be a public adjuster to get a lot from that mastermind, because I don't even talk about claims in my trainings. My trainings are strictly, like I said, leadership mindset, sales and marketing, systems and processes. And even that, I'd say my specialties even from there are definitely sales and marketing and leadership and mindset. It's what I'm even narrowing down to as well. But yeah, it's just great. The mastermind is just fantastic. I enjoy it. We don't miss a week. We make sure that we are on that sucker every single week, no matter what, for the live training. All the live trainings are recorded. So as soon as you become a mastermind member, you have access to all the recordings that we've done. Basically, it started with just me, and now it's twice a week since September. And then you also have access to all the courses that I've put together. I've put together a claims course, a sales course, a operations course, a leadership course, and it's all there. It's all there. It's basically if you were to join the mastermind, you get access to all of these courses, and it's basically your training material to fast track you to being successful as a public adjuster. And you can just give the login to one of your new members of your team and have them just go through it. And now you no longer have to train them. I call it like the training courses. to really fast track your way to becoming successful in this business, and quite frankly, in most any other business, but it's obviously claims related. So, if you guys, anybody's interested in the mastermind at all, I think it's affordable. It's not like cheap, that's for sure. But definitely compared to other masterminds that are 20, 30, $40,000, it ain't that. It's under 10,000. But if you're interested at all, send me a message. You could comment here, mastermind. I can get back to you, or you could just send me a message on Instagram, which is the best way, or on Facebook. Also, my personal page is the easiest way to message me on Facebook. The business page, not that I don't check often, but it's I don't check it as often. So my personal Facebook page is the easiest way to, and the Instagram personal Vince Perry Official is the easiest way to get in contact with me. So I'm pretty excited about the in-person that we're doing. I hope that goes well. I know that'll go well. And other than that, I had a video that I posted on Instagram talking about, we didn't get to finish our conversation. Elias, what's up, my man? Absolutely. Anytime, shoot me a message on Instagram, like I said, and we could talk further about what you were talking about. So, on Instagram, I posted a video about, did I say respect? I don't know if I said respect, but the young entrepreneur, the 20-something-year-old that's in shape, hustling, getting sales, doing all kinds of stuff. I don't look up to that person. I look up to the midlife, late 30s, 40s, 50-something-year-old that's in shape, that's running their own businesses, running their own companies, still while having to deal with a lot of the personal stuff. I stand by that, because as you get older, because I just laugh at the young hustlers, young kids that are just like, yeah, I'm getting after it, and it's great. I mean, that's where you learn. That's where you build the foundation to be a hustler and get out there and get after it. But man, as you get older, you got more and more responsibilities, and as you become more of what I call, well, not what I call, it's one of my favorite podcasters, and but yeah, after you become the one, right? Once you become the one of your family, which my wife and I are both the one, everything sort of like revolves around us in a way. We are responsible for a lot of people, and when you're responsible for a lot of people, there's a lot of stuff that's going on that are just completely unrelated to business, completely unrelated to sort of your normal day to day. And then when you have a child as well, that takes up a lot of responsibilities also. So if you could find a way, talk about having more than one hustle. I mean, your personal life already is another hustle that's just sometimes just tough to stay on top of. So I really respect that 40-something-year-old, 50-something-year-old that, is taking care of their parents, taking care of their father or their mother with dementia, taking care of that, elder person that now has some kind of cancer and having to go to the hospital. And, these are stuff that happens in my life, all the time, and that you guys don't know about. And it's a lot. And then I was telling my wife, it's hard sometimes to get up on social media and be that energetic person that you sort of have to be. I talk about it in one of the frameworks that I put together for our mastermind. One of the things that you need to do if you're going to post on social media is you have to go 2x. You have to go 2x with your energy. If you're going to post on social media, guys, you have to go 2x, not 10x. Just go double what your normal personality. It comes off a lot better on camera. But when you're going through some shit, and you're stressed out because there's just too much going on, and you're stressed out because there's too much going on in regards to even work and personal life and all of it together, it's tough. It's tough to get up and give that energy. And it's just a thought that I had, because, like I said, this live is for me to go in, but yeah, I got stuff going on, on my mom's end that it's like, yeah, it's tough. It's tough, but you got to do it. You got to do it, and ultimately it's your responsibility. I'm an only child, so it's my responsibility to ultimately take care of my mom, because no one else will. And we're figuring out, luckily I have a great teammate. That's why it's so important to have a great teammate. I'm talking about my wife, Annabelle. It's very, very important to have a good teammate. I call her my coach sometimes, actually. She gives me a lot of great advice, and she's not even a business owner, but she gives great advice. It's great to talk to her. She's a great listener sometimes. And vice versa, right? Like, you got to make sure that you have a good partner. It's so, so important. I'd say that's probably step number one. If you're going to be a success, I have noticed most successful people, they have a very good partner, uh, business partner, or whatever you want to call it, in their daily life. Because if you don't, if you're doing this by yourself, it's like the mastermind. I tell people that are contemplating whether they want to join the mastermind or not, and they're running their public adjusting firm all by themselves. They don't have any help whatsoever. Well, guess what? You're gonna want to join the mastermind, because at least you'll surround yourself. Thank you, Elias. I appreciate that. At least you're going to want to surround yourself with just like-minded people. Even in Think and Grow Rich, there's a chapter literally just called Mastermind, and it's the importance of getting together with like-minded individuals, because it basically it just helps you, and you share ideas and different things, and people. It's nice to be around people that have gone through some of the stuff that you've gone through as well. So. If you're a public adjuster and you're on your own, yeah, you're definitely would be very beneficial for you to at least join a group like ours, where we're all sort of all crying on each other's shoulder when it comes to the difficulty of settling claims ultimately and running a business. But yeah, so that's what we got. We got the in-person mastermind coming up. Um, what else do we have? What else do we have that I can think of? We have a potential business that's going for sale. So anybody that's interested in buying a local business in the Tampa area, I cannot give details at all yet because it's not even published yet. But you could go ahead and send me a message, and I could basically, you'd have to sign an NDA and send you all the information that you need if you are interested in purchasing a local business in Tampa. And also, if anybody's interested in selling a business, yeah, I mean that's also an opportunity for you if you want to make some money. Because yeah, I do wish that now in hindsight, now that I know and learning a lot about mergers and acquisitions and business brokering and all of that, I definitely should have sold that damn tennis academy. It would have sold pretty nicely. Not a huge, it wasn't millions, definitely not. Tennis academies are tough to grow. But it would have been a nice little payday. I totally understand. I want to help my mother move to Tampa. I did it. My mom moved Chris from Miami to Tampa. It didn't go as well as I hoped that it would have gone, but it had to be done. It had to be done, So, but at least she's here now, and I'd be able to take care of her, and she's pretty close. But yeah, do it, Chris. Tampa's great. Tampa's great. So where were we? So yeah, we've got that local business that's going to be going up for sale this week in Tampa. Anybody that's interested in selling their business at all, is thinking about it, send me a message. I can help answer a lot of questions. I've got a good team around me with the business and acquisitions portion as well. And if you're interested in buying this business in Tampa, definitely send me a message on that. And the mastermind would love to help you with that as well. And see, that's what I'm talking about. Multiple hustles. It's okay. It's okay. That's why I changed the Commercial Claims Advocate to Vince Perry Official on Instagram. It's just, for me in 2025, it's to be impactful, and it's to really, really grow my personal brand. That's why we went beyond the claim, not beyond the clam. We went beyond the claim for the YouTube show, because we're going above and beyond. I may even change the name again, who knows, to something else. But the name of the channel is just Vince Perry Official. The podcast is Beyond the Claim. But, I may even change it again. I don't know. We'll see. Just because, fuck it, I may feel like it, and just call it something else. Because this year is the year to be impactful. For me, it's a year to grow the personal brand, but it's also a year to really just figure some stuff out. Really, I'm really focusing on making sure Elite Resolutions is able to sort of run on its own, and we're getting there little by little, making sure that the admins are doing what they have to do, and really getting a true understanding of how to work a claim. Now, that's a big goal of mine. Commercial Claims Advocate also, if you go on the website, basically you could take a look at whatever course that you want. You go on commercialclaimsadvocate.com, and you can basically purchase any of the courses individually, or get put on a wait list if they're not available quite yet. So if you're interested in any of our courses at Commercial Claims Advocate, we do have, I think, 2 courses that are up for sale. But then you could also get on a wait list for the bundle. And you, if you get put on that wait list, that you'll get notified as soon as it's available. So I'm in the process of helping my dad, who's in Tampa too. Oh, nice. So go on commercialclaimsadvocate.com. If the course that you're looking for is not available at the moment, then just get put on the wait list. And like I said, you will get notified as soon as it is available. But yeah, Commercial Claims Advocate basically running a little bit on its own. for anybody that is starting out in public adjusting, that's what it's there for, to really help. And obviously the YouTube show, ton of content to help if you're just starting out. And then yeah, hired an in-person assistant here, which is tremendous. She's doing a great job so far to really help me with a lot of my day-to-day stuff. So, I can give a lot of tips and advice about that. Can your course be used for CEU? No, it's not. It's not. It's very complicated to do that CEU. I did one course that was, and it was just a lot of paperwork, and I don't know, maybe if I can get some assistance on doing that, maybe I would. But I'm very against establishment, Chris. So I know it would probably give me more sales, but I'm very anti-establishment. So and it's not because of that, but just, yeah, it's a headache, a lot of paperwork, and yeah, I'd rather just be like my own lone wolf here in this. So all right, guys. Well, I appreciate all of the comments. I appreciate all the questions. We had a good amount of viewership, even though the fact that we were not on Instagram. So I appreciate all of you that have joined the live. I can't think of anything else that I would like to discuss. So on that note, make sure you watch Monday's podcast with Mo Tien. Talk about a marketing genius. This freaking guy, he builds a map of how your lead intake comes in and how it basically flows through a mapped out, like it looks like a matrix, mapped out system of how to go from lead to close, or from lead to sequence and follow up and all that. And we basically go through all of that in the 1 hour conversation I have with Mo. The guy is a marketing genius, and I wish I had him on my team, but I have him there. I have paid for him to help us develop the entire map sequence for Elite Resolutions, and it's working out very well. So you're not going to want to miss the show. I believe we moved it to 6 p.m. on Monday, the podcast, virtual podcast with Mo. It's not in person. Next week, it'll be in person. And then on Wednesday, we go deep into checklists and the importance of creating checklists for your company and your workflow to make sure everything is organized and they're doing it the way you want them to do it. And then we'll be back again next Sunday for the live. So, all right, guys, I had a 12 o'clock podcast that I was supposed to be on that was freaking canceled. So I'm going to drive home. It's time for me to go home, go see my son, go see my wife, see my family, and have a good Sunday. So 4-hour drive. All right. We'll see you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for coming on. We'll see you next Sunday. Thanks.